All right, listen, I think by now you probably know the deal. It's late. I had work tonight. I had to be a little quiet in this one. Everybody in my house is sleeping. It's 12:49 in the morning as I'm recording this. Just finished watching the game. Flyers end up losing 5-2 to the Stars. Good thing about this game, get a power play goal that looked a lot better than it was last night. Another thing, Kevin Hayes and Ryan Ellis are back in the lineup. That's another good thing. I really like the Flyers' effort in this game. Even though they lost in regulation with an empty netter, they did not quit. I mean, their legs kind of got to them a little bit in the second period, but they really came out in the third. Thought they had their chances. It sucked because they gave up that power play goal early, which was a pretty unfortunate call there on Farabee. Because it was one of the ones where he could have let that go. I didn't really think Farabee was trying to interfere with him, but I understand why he called it, and it was an interference, to begin with. But obviously the lines were a lot different tonight. Obviously you have Hayes and as I said, Ellis coming in. So before I get into those lines, I want to tell you guys about Garrett Group Construction. Fantastic construction team. They specialize in kitchens, bathrooms, basements, and remodels. If you need any help on your home, if you're trying to get a new look or maybe fix up some things, you can call 262 1660. That's again 267-262-1660. Easy for me to say. Or you can email garrettgc.llc@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description down below if you want to check that out or call them. But yeah, great work there from those guys. And if you've seen on my Instagram, I put up some stuff, some things that they've remodeled. Everything looks absolutely gorgeous. So again, check those guys out. But as I was saying here for the lines for the Flyers, Giroux, Couturier, JVR. So JVR gets bumped up. Second line, Farabee, Hayes, Atkinson. Third line, Brassard, Law, and Konechny. Fourth line, Lindblom, Thompson, McEwen. Defense, Provorov, Braun, Sanheim, Ristolainen, Yandel, and Ellis, Martin, Jones, and net. As for these lines, I like them. I thought, I like Hayes with Atkinson because it has, they played with each other. He's actually said Atkinson is elite, which I love. And I feel like they have some good chemistry going. Hayes obviously has always looked pretty good with Farabee. They have chemistry from playing in years past. Brassard ends up moving to the wing. Lawton still at the 3C. Lindblom going down to the fourth line. I don't really like, but again, you're kind of forced at that point. You're not going to put anybody else down there. So I guess that makes sense for right now. But going forward, I really don't want to see Oscar on the fourth line, but that just might have to happen. Ellis going into the third pair with Yandel is fine because, again, you want to ease him into things. You don't want him to just start getting 27, 28, 29, maybe even 30 minutes a night. And, you want to ease him into some stuff. I thought he had an okay game. I thought he made a couple good plays. He's very good on the power play from what I've seen, and I think the second unit looked a lot better since he was added to that, also putting Provorov back too. Provorov ended up getting a power play goal, but let's start out with the first period. Flyers had a really good first. Firing pucks from everywhere. Jones had a couple good saves. Hayes had a pretty good first shift. He looked good, skating fast. Flyers have a power play for a face-off violation on the Stars. Good setup by the first unit. JVR had a tip that went wide. Really good power play, though. Hayes had a one-timer. Quick passing. Shots to the net. Good puck movement. It seemed like it was what Carolina did to the Flyers last night was what they did on that power play there. Robinson had a 2-on-1 chance. Really good save by Jones. Good stick lift by Giroux. Ended up leading to a Couturier shot in the slot. Giroux kind of got in there first and kind of set up the whole play. But that was swallowed up there by Hudobin with the glove. And then Dallas ended up getting the first goal in this one. It was a tip on a point shot. They had a bunch of zone time. Flyers kind of just sat back. Lindblom kind of stood still. Konechny was kind of staying still as well. And shot just tipped one high glove. It was a beautiful tip by Glendening there. So 1-0 Stars. And the Flyers get a power play. Second unit almost scores off an Ellis shot. Just trickled wide. And Ellis kind of waited a second to get this puck through to even get more of a tip on it. They had a really nice setup for Couturier passes. Ended up going around the boards there to kind of set that one up. But overall, I thought the Flyers had a couple good power plays there in the first, but couldn't really get anything going. Sanheim almost scored. It got reviewed. The black pads for Hudobin definitely got into the way. I know there's been a lot of JJ was saying it on the broadcast that Hudobin hates the black pads. and that kind of goes into his favor because you can't see the puck. So that's one thing that I've kind of been thinking. Like, I know a lot of these goalies don't like the pads, or some guys have darker pads, and I know Samuel Urson, when he came over to development camp, I was talking with Jason Martinez, and he was kind of saying that Kim Dullabo hates the dark pads. That's why Hart has white pads and everything. And a couple of days later, Urson had a brand new set of pads, a new helmet, all that stuff. So later in that period, Braun had a really good stick check on Hintz flying to the zone. That's one thing I've loved from Braun, has an active stick literally all season. He's done it constantly. That's why, another reason why I think they kept Braun with Provy is because it's working. They're playing well, so why wouldn't you keep it together? Also, obviously, talking about adding Ellis to the lineup, you don't want to just throw him right in there either. So, end of one. Really solid period for the Flyers, though. They had a lot of chances, some zone time. I honestly feel like this is one of their better 5-on-5 games, regardless of the score. Shots on goal were 19-7 in favor of the Flyers for the first. Second period, they not so much. They had a couple looks. Yandel had a play where he ended up passing the puck. Yandel had a couple scoring chances in this game, but he slipped one right over to JVR, and I thought he was going to shoot it. I wish he did. But he ended up passing it over to JVR, just rolled over his stick. Stars came back with some pressure. I thought it was a pretty back and forth period. Teams were kind of trading their chances. Flyers didn't have many shots, but they had some zone time. And then the Stars ended up scoring 2-0, really nice play. A couple guys were just kind of caught puck watching. Gurionov just tapped it home. Wasn't much Jones could do there. Flyers would get one back, though. JVR scores. Really weird play. Sanheim again getting involved in the offense. Really liked what Sanheim has done joining the rush. Felt like the Flyers defense in this game was joining the rush a lot, and they generated chances off of that. It's kind of felt like Khudobin was kind of doing the same thing to what Carter Hart did last night to Carolina. He was making saves and everything, just anything going to the net. Khudobin got some sort of body part or pad or whatever on it. But Flyers end up getting a goal there, and you're down just by one now. You get one back. A couple minutes left in the second. You want to just kind of play better. They're stuck in their own zone. Can't get it out. Couple turnovers. Sagan scores 3-1. 26 seconds later, he just chipped it right in front, and Stars won a couple puck battles, forced a couple turnovers, and they get the goal. Obviously, that's not the best thing, and that's probably one of the main reasons why this game looked worse than it was, the Flyers, even though they had an okay period, they gave up the goal 26 seconds after, and then Konechny had a chance right after that to actually put the Flyers back just down by one again, but ended up just going wide. And end of two, shots on goal were 24-17 in favor of the Flyers, 10-5 Stars, but again, not great because you gave up the lead not even 30 seconds after you know what I mean. You let them add it to the lead, whatever. Third period starts. Atkinson has a chance. Pass over to Ristolainen. I really wanted Canada to shoot that puck. It was like pretty early into the period. And it was like, Hayes had another good shift there. They had some chemistry going, a couple nice passes, and Atkinson kind of just came out of the corner without a chance to shoot. And I'm like, come on, fire that. Ends up passing his Ristolainen. Shot ended up going deflected and hit off the glass. But power play here, this was that Farabee penalty I was talking about. 4-1. Pavelski scores. Initial save there by Jones. And it was just tapped right over to Pavelski for an open net goal. So at that point, I'm thinking to myself, well, it's 4-1. But again, I'm not really mad with the loss. Like, I thought the Flyers had a good game. They get a power play goal here. Provorov scores. Hayes with an assist. Really nice screen by Brassard in front, and that's one thing that this unit has done well, and I thought the power play did tonight was they were doing set plays, they were shooting quick, the passes were crisp, they were able to get the movement going, and the Stars have struggled on the penalty kill, and everything that Dallas kind of did in this game, you had to think was going to break at some point. It just, sadly, it broke tonight for them. They were 1-4-2 in their last 7. I talked about this in the last game review. 1-4-2 in their last 7. Had a closed door meeting. Really, a bunch of things have gone wrong for them, and they haven't necessarily played the way that they should be. And they haven't necessarily scored many goals. And this was actually their first regulation win of the season. I believe it was also their first game where they led by 1 goal or more. It's just all those things are going to break at some point, and they broke tonight for them, and they had a couple days off. They've been home all week, and the Flyers have 3 games in 4 nights, and again, it's not an excuse, but It's just, things that tie into it is, it's part of the reason why I think the Stars were hungry tonight, and everything kind of led to them. It made sense why they came out and they ended up picking up a 5-2 win, is what I'm trying to get at here. Yandle absolutely had a chance after this, though. After the power play goal, he just fired one. I mean, he had a couple chances tonight where he could have scored. I thought the Flyers' defense was very active into the zone. They made a couple good plays, just getting through the neutral zone, generating that into offensive chances, and zone time for the Flyers in the first, and then they kind of carried that over into the second and the third. But Jones had a nice save on Ben and tight. I thought the Flyers still had a good third, though, regardless of everything that went down, and you gave up the goal to make it 4-1, and then you end up getting back. But I really liked the effort, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not mad with the loss. I thought they played well enough. But sometimes that's just kind of how it is, and Dallas got a couple good bounces. Flyers kind of got caught puck watching a couple times, and sometimes that's hockey. But overall, the Flyers are right now, they're 7-4-2. It's not the end of the world. It's not like they're hanging off a cliff. I think it's still very early. Again, you're coming back into form is what I would like to call it. You get Hayes back, you get Ellis back. You're really hoping to kind of get off on a good start, and you end up losing this game. But again, it's also the first game in a while, as I mentioned. Your lines are completely different. This is the first time that Konechny was kind of off that line there with Giroux and Konechny for at least the start of a game. Obviously, we saw switches and things like that, but this is just, realistically, this is the biggest change that the lines have seen really all year on the offensive side of things. So overall, you have a couple tough games coming up. You have Calgary Tuesday, Tampa Thursday, Boston Saturday, all home games. You want to take advantage of those, and hopefully get some revenge here against the Flames here on Tuesday night. So let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.